Hi, welcome to Foster Tales. I'm Cara Ochterberg, co-founder of Who Will Let the Dogs Out, a nonprofit organization that works to raise awareness and resources for homeless dogs and the heroes who fight for them. I'm excited to introduce you to another lifesaver in the world of dog rescue today. The problem of too many dogs dying in our nation's shelters is a complicated and many-layered one that so many of us are working hard to solve. But meanwhile, there is one thing just about anyone can do to save a life. They can foster an animal.
Oh gosh, look at that. What a cutie. Hey, so Sarah, you have been you foster for Small Miracle Cat and Dog Rescue in Ellicott City, Maryland. And how long have you been doing that?
I have been doing this for about 2.5 years or so.
Okay. Okay. And since she's right there, tell us who that is sitting in your lap.
So this is Rosie, formerly Lil Red, and she came through the foster program. I fostered her for about a month, um, and her forever home was found, and so I get to pet sit her while they're gone for graduation.
That's
So
so cool. That's so cool. And a lot of people are hesitant to foster because they think, oh, I'll have to say goodbye. But sometimes you don't, right? Sometimes you stay in touch. Do you stay in touch with a lot of your fosters, or is this just a special one?
there's, I would say the vast majority don't stay in touch. But I think I have maybe five or six that I communicate with every once in a while. This one has been extra special because her forever family, the mom volunteers at Small Miracles and walks dogs
Nice.
on Fridays, and so um, Little Red Rosie had come into the rescue and she had walked her and she's like, "This is my dog. Don't let anyone apply."
Very cool. It's
Yeah.
awesome that when they find their home and then you get to stay in touch. I have that experience sometimes too. So that's kind of a cool piece of it that we forget. So I just want to ask a bunch of questions kind of back, like how did you get started? What made you decide to start fostering?
Oh, good question. Now that I think back, I don't know. But I think probably at the time I wasn't working. I had been sick for a number of years with Lyme disease. And I had gotten to the point where I was well enough to take care of pups, but not well enough to go back to work.
Uh,
And so, because I was home all day, I had the time to take care of any puppies. So I signed up, and I haven't constantly had pups, but quite often I will have some kind of either single or two pups, or sometimes they want you to do three, but I haven't done any three yet.
so do you have dogs of your own also?
I do. I have a dog. His name is Swiffer, and he is a Great Pyrenees Lab mix.
Oh wow, big dog.
Yes. Yeah. So he's a big dog, about 110 pounds. And it's been amazing seeing him interacting with the puppies.
Yeah. That's kind of a special thing when that happens.
Hmm.
Yeah, I have one. I have a dog now that just really doesn't like my foster dogs most of the time, but it's been a really good experience for him to learn to meet them, and so I'm hoping it makes him less afraid in the end. Um,
Hmm.
so fostering, talk a little bit about like what's great about it. What do you like about it?
So I guess a couple things. One, I love the fact that I'm helping save animals. It's always been a passion of mine to do as much good in the world as I possibly can. Um, some of the good things are just spending time with puppies. I mean, who doesn't like puppies? They're cute. They're fun to be around, and it's just amazing to watch them discover new things and play and just they're constantly learning, and it's just exciting to see.
Yeah. And they can be messy and all that, but I always find fostering puppies is fun because they get to that point where they're starting to be a little bit of work, and that's usually about the time they get adopted. So like you get just enough, sort of like being the grandma of the baby that comes to visit. Like you get all this wonderful time, and then about the time you're had enough of this work, off they go to somebody else. So it's kind of fun to do.
Yeah.
So puppies are special, and puppy fosters are so needed because shelters are a dangerous place for a puppy because
Hmm.
they're not protected by vaccines yet. It's also just a scary place for any dog. So when you're talking about a puppy, you don't want them to start out that way. So it's great to have puppy fosters. Um, what would you say is the hardest thing about fostering?
Well, a couple things. One, cleaning up poop and pee, it just gets old.
Yeah.
But also, depending on the puppy, there are some that you're like, yay, her adoption date is tomorrow. How many hours left until I get rid of this pup? But then there's others that just grab your heart. And there's been a few times that I've cried on the way home from dropping pups off at adoption. So,
Yeah. Yeah. So every now and again it is hot, but I feel like it's so often so worth it. Um,
exactly.
so what advice do you have for somebody who is thinking about fostering puppies specifically? Because that's a different kind of fostering, and it does require a lot of time. You're home, as you said, like so that makes it more possible for you to do. But what would be your advice to someone who's thinking about getting into this?
I think the first thing is go for it, try it, and don't be discouraged if your first pup is more than you can handle. Um, there's a whole spectrum of puppies. There's some that are um, perfectly happy, healthy, almost house trained, and all they need is a loving home to take care of them until they get adopted. And then you have the ones that are super, super sick and need a lot of care. So I would say go for it. Don't be discouraged if it's a lot to deal with at first. And the thing that I always tell fosters is go on Amazon and get the machine washable, reusable pee pads
Yeah.
and the whelping pads because they are lifesavers. I have a stock of them and keep those under the X pen so puppies are contained and there's a place for them to pee or poop or whatever they need to do. Um, and they're very easily cleanable.
Right. So having the right equipment and the right supplies, you mentioned X pens, having a space to do it, all those things. Like puppies are a little bit different than dogs in that you do have to have a safe place to put them because they are not vaccinated, so they can't roam around your house, and they're also not housebroken. And generally, until they've had a few vaccines, they can't really even be until at least I don't know where your puppies are being originated from, but the puppies that I have fostered are usually coming directly from a shelter. So they have to stay on a non-porous surface for about 9 days to be certain that we are parvo free before they can then go outside. So that's 9 days of picking up poop every day, 24/7 for all the puppies. So I know older puppies can be a little bit easier, but there's a lot of preparation that goes into it and having some of the right supplies there. Did your rescue give you some good training before you started?
Really? Um, we have a manual for fostering, And it has some very good information, but I would say a lot of it is talking with other fosters and learning as you go. Um, I mean, obviously, there's the right information in the manual for someone starting out. Do you follow every single thing all the time? No, because each puppy is different and each one has different needs. Um, yeah, I've kind of learned how as I've gone. And I've also become one of the maybe 2 or 3 fosters that are called if the pup has parvo.
Oh,
So I've taken care of 4 parvo pups. And yeah, so which is a subspecialty basically,
yeah. Well,
not every.
hopefully that's going to get easier because I was just reading day before yesterday, that there's a new parvo shot out there, and in the research trials, it's done amazing. Like they had 0 deaths once they gave this shot to the puppies. Some of the symptoms were still there, but they were more minor. It's really,
Mhm.
really exciting news. We've needed that for so long, and I think it'll be a game changer for rescues and for fosters like you if that was really the case, because it's a hard road, parvo is. So, but
Yeah.
thanks for being a puppy foster, and thanks for giving us a few minutes of your time to talk about fostering puppies and being around. And if anybody wants more information, I'm going to put in the shelter notes Small Miracles Cat and Dog Rescue in Ellicott City, Maryland. So if you're in that area, you're looking for somebody and you'd like to foster puppies, and I guess kittens, right? Cats, kittens, because it's
Yes,
cat.
and adult dogs as well.
Okay. So there's
And
lots of options.
yes,
Yes. So we'll put that information in the show notes and people can find it there. But thanks for taking the time to talk to me for a few minutes about puppies and fostering puppies and this great adventure. And thanks for doing it and saving lives.
you're welcome. And thank you for all you do.
Sure.